Good morning, how's everybody? Yes, well, sleepy, tired? Who is happy? Who is excited? In the back, everybody paying attention? Yes or no? Hello, in the back, Inigo, come on, put some order there, okay? Ready for a presentation? Only 20 minutes ahead. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm going to stand on this side so you can face on the screen. Everybody call me around the world like Mr. Branding. I don't know why. Maybe you will find out along the presentation. I'm going to speak about branding and love. And if you want to take a photograph of the screen to continue the conversation or the debate after this fantastic summit, I am more than open to continue this interesting thing that is starting on the summit and not ending with it. So the presentation is going to be about why love is the safest bet for the future. We are living in a moment of history in sports and in society where the old is not dying completely and the new is not being born completely. And in the middle of all this conundrum, we are sharing this summit. At the same time, we have some uncertainties that we are living in uncertain times. Do you agree on this? Yes? Uncertain times, more or less? Yes? Okay, what two things, think to yourself, were important 20 years ago, are important nowadays, and will be important in 20 years from now? Don't answer to me yet, but think about it. Two things that are really important for brands, for people, for sport, for society, 20 years ago, nowadays, and in the future. I think that some of the key aspects we are all facing as mandatory are sustainability, of course. Who's not talking about sustainability? Even greenwashers are talking about sustainability. We are talking about net zero emissions, carbon neutral. How many are already there or are sharing the journey? Hello, greenwashers. We are shifting from an analogical society, this is a very good example, The Last Dance, to an all smartphone-centric society. You are not enjoying the game, you are enjoying the smartphone. And the smartphone is your relationship with society. The other mega trend, remember Metaverse, that was super trendy like 3 months ago? Who's talking about Metaverse right now? And what about talking about the future of the Metaverse or the multiverse while we're trying to discover how to relate with a teammate or a partner or our couple in the real world? On the other hand, NFTs were also very trendy. Some people invested a lot of money on NFTs. Ask them how did it go. I'm not saying all this is not good. I'm saying we need to pay attention to the new, but not ignoring the important. In a few days from now, probably in the next summit, we will have robots over here giving the keynotes and robots over there paying attention, and we will be all in the bar drinking beer and good Spanish wine. Yes, welcome robots. And what about Gen Z and Gen Alpha? Are they good? Are they bad? We don't know. The only thing we knew is that they are new and they are coming with lots of expectations and trying to change the way we consume content, we share content, and we have fun. And also, the way they share things and the way they consume things is much different than the way we are all used to consume, that if we don't understand them, we will not engage them. And also we have, of course, artificial intelligence. We have the Argentinian Pope. Yes, we have Vladimir Putin and our friend Biden. In Malaga, maybe, who knows, Ibiza. We have some certainties. AI will change our life. We don't know how, when, and if we have enough servers to supply the power capacity they need, and if by doing that we're going to pollute so much our world that AI will be killing itself without being sustainable, or if it's really going to be a game changer for all of us. To me, on this world that is so amazing, with so many progresses, with so many new technologies, with so many new opportunities, everything is upside down. And the only certainty we have in this new era, in the beginning, in this new era, for me, is one. This is not a technological transformation or a digital transformation. We are undergoing a human transformation. If anybody agrees with me, can you raise your hand? Okay, that's great. So if everything else has failed in the recent past, don't you think it's time for love? I think it's time for love. Because to me, love is one of the two things that were important 20 years ago, are important today, and will be important in 20-year time. And with love, you don't pay la hipoteca, your rent. You don't pay the bills, you don't pay the salaries. If you don't have love in your team, if you don't have engagement in your team, you don't have a team. If you don't have fans, if you don't have lovers in your sports institution, organization, or team, then you don't have a future. So love is more important than AI. Look, World Cup Qatar 2022. Economists predict England will win Qatar 2022, but artificial intelligence backs Brazil. Economists and AI can be trusted? You say no. Okay, these were the odds for Argentina over here. You know that Argentina won the World Cup in Qatar? Did you know? Yes? Only 6% of chances were given to the current team. And why is love so important? You know why is this photo on the screen? Oh, because you're Argentinian. No, not because of that, no. This is the most liked photograph in the history of Instagram. You can think about all the musicians, all the actors, actresses, influencers, everybody on earth. No one has gained more likes than this photograph. And why is that? Because Argentinians love Messi only. Everybody loves Messi. Well, except some Real Madrid fans, eventually. But if you are Real Madrid fans and you love football, you love Messi. Don't you agree? Okay, so how can you touch love? How can you make love tangible? This was the biggest crowd ever in Argentina and probably in the world. Only 5 million people on the streets, only in the capital of Argentina, in Buenos Aires. 5 million? How do you know it was 5 million and not 6 million? No one knows, but it was like massive. And what we are all sharing? Just the love to Messi and to Argentina. So love can be touched. When you hug someone, you can touch, you can feel. Because the other thing that comes with love is trust. To love, you need to trust. And to trust, you need to love. So love and trust are essential to grow in the future. But in the world of sports, you always need two to tango. You need a team and you need fans. You need an institution and you need fans. You need an organization and you need fans. You need a brand and you need fans. But what if instead of calling them fans, we call them believers or lovers? Because maybe it's a new level where we can try to understand in a better way the people we are trying to reach, the audience we are trying to seduce and attract. And when you think about love and you put together some aspects of different sports on different countries, with different cultures, with different kind of fans, you will find that love is all around. Do you know a band called the Beatles? You say, yes. Yes? Remember the song, All You Need Is Love, Love. Love is all you need. Remember or no? At the end of my conference, maybe we can sing a little so you wake up. Eh? What do you think? So, what is love? Is this love? Can we identify this as love for our country, love for our national squad, love for our team? The future for brands is starting every single day. No, I will start loving my employees or my believers or my fans in 1 year time from now because my strategic plan starts in 2024. You cannot wait for the ideal conditions to start investing on love and in your brand because the ideal conditions didn't exist, don't exist, and will never exist. So in these amazing times of technology where everything that could be digitized will be digitized, everything that can be put in the hands of robots will be put in the hands of robots, and everything that could be automated will be automated, everything except one single relevant thing. You know what that is? Ta-da! Human emotions. For the time being, and at least for the next year, we're not going to be capable of automating the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we share. So to me, in this incredibly admirable world of sports, the opposite of love is not hate, but being an irrelevant brand. And no one wants to be in that position because that's the certificate of death. So, Andy, but love is your opinion, it's based on data. I am a very purpose-driven guy, but I also love data. I think purpose plus data can make a very good formula. Anyone in the room has a profile on Instagram, professional or personal? Yes? Raise your hands just to... Okay, these are the top 3 most used share emojis in Instagram. Number 1 is, all you need is love. Second one is, oh, I love you, you know, eyes with love. And the third one is kiss with love. Love, love, love. All you need is... The Beatles were right. They were very good branders. So then I will share the presentation, and you can check what's the most used emoji in your hometown country, and you will have very interesting surprises. So coming to an end of the presentation, because we need to go get this Spanish wine and ham and all that, what if we change the conversation from looking for likes and starting to build love? Because like is ephemeral. It's like a story in Instagram. It lasts what? 24 hours and it's gone. But talk to me about love. It's long-lasting. It's more important, much more important. So in this world of artificial intelligence, metaverse, greenwashing, and all these things that I mentioned at the very beginning, instead of trying to reach only the top of mind of our employees, fans, team members, shareholders, stakeholders, why don't we try to conquer the top of love, the top of their hearts? Because a brand that you know can create a behavior, but a brand that you feel create engagement. So what is love? Michael Jordan, love is playing every game like it is your last. Okay, let's talk about love, or let's practice love. Let's feel love. Let's share love. You know that this is the #1 team in the Americas? Yes? Did you know that? Boca Juniors? No, you didn't. Now you know. If someone asks you which is the #1 team in the Americas, it's Club Atlético Boca Juniors. They don't have fans. They have people that love the team. And I'm going to give you a present because I'm very generous, a new concept. Everybody here is asked to do the business plan. And in the business plan, everybody's asking you, okay, what's the ROI? What is the return on investment? What if, not instead of, but added to, we include the ROX and the ROL? You know what this stands for? Return on experience and return on love. If we only analyze the relationship with funds, with shareholders, only like a number in an Excel sheet, we are doomed. If we can put a value of the experience, and when we are talking about sports, we were discussing with Ivan a few moments ago, sports, it's a massive experience. How can you put experience in a way you can quantify it to make the best out of it? The world today is very complicated, but there is something we don't like. In fact, we dislike. That is the blah, 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 blah. We don't like the blah, blah, blah. What do we like? The do. Do things. Show the world what you are doing, and then people will start talking about what you are doing. People are trying to find solutions, innovative, creative solutions, when they don't have resources, or when they don't have budgets, or when they don't have teams. And many startups in the world are showing big companies that with very little resources, very few dollars or euros, and with small teams, they are changing things for better and for good. Changing is about understanding that sports is growing and getting bigger and changing. And this is not good or bad, it's just new. We don't know what is going to happen in the future, but things are happening. How many of you know this team? Raise your hands, please. Okay, how many people know this guy? How many people? Buga? Only 2. People, do your homework. You're in the sports industry and you don't know Buga. Okay, who is Buga? Oh, he only put 40,000 people where the US Open is played, 300 million streaming, and only the second most important prize money in selected individual sporting events, only after the US Open. This is not the fun of teenagers or of young people. This is maybe part of the future of sports, and we cannot ignore it because they love this game. It sounded very NBA, but it's true. So everybody knows what happened with Shakira and Bizarrap, by the way, Argentinian, and what happened with Piqué that same evening. Shakira was introducing the Rolex, Casio, blah, blah, blah. 2 minutes later, Piqué with the Casio. Time to market. Timing is key, it's important. When people are with the emotions, you need to profit from that in a good sense, in a respectful way. And also, it's very funny, it's in Spanish, but something like, in defense of our watches, Casio, the battery of our watches lasts more than the relationship between Piqué and Shakira. Make fun of life. We want to fun. Life is too complicated out there. How many community managers or social media managers are empowered to be brave? How many? Oh no, it's complicated. The compliance, the lawyers, this and that. Too boring. Why did people started crying in the last match Roger Federer played? Everybody was crying on the court. Nadal was crying, Federer was crying. It was not the death of someone. It was only the end of a career. And this is not how you love Federer, but also how Federer loves Rolex. Not like Piqué, he loves Casio. So what we need today as brands and decision makers, as leaders, everybody of you here today has something important to say and to do in the sport industry. We all need more courage to love, because loving is not easy. Because, oh, what if he doesn't love me back? What if she dumped me? What if they don't love me? The only way to discover that is by loving. There's no other way to love than loving. So we can have a new vision, but the vision is nothing if you don't transform vision into action. And action can transform lives. Sport is a catalyst for change. It's a positive catalyst for change. Sport is magnificent. No one can have an argument against sport. Not only for entertainment, not only for health, not only for wellness, not only for putting people together, like we saw the photo in Argentina. But at the end of the day, when we read the newspapers or the media or social media, everything is bad and negative, and they want people apart, and everything it's complicated. But our world is amazing. And our athletes are incredible. And you guys behind the athletes are more amazing because you don't get the credit and you do all the hard work. Don't you agree? So if we can connect with the proper emotions, if we can create a bigger sense of commitment and engagement, and if we can understand there is a new role for brands in the planet, then we are already in the future. A lot of people are obsessed with KPIs. Okay, let's change the way we approach KPIs. Keep people informed, keep people inspired, keep people involved, keep people in love, very well. If we can create real human connections through love, if we can stay focused on a world of distraction, if we can be fearless, or at least control fear and go beyond fear, if we can have a battalion of believers that love the proposal we have. And if we can hug the future without fear, then love is a safe bet for the future. And for ending, right on time, I'm going to ask you for 2 final favors. Is that okay? Can I ask you for the favors? Yes? Okay, the first one is you stand up, okay? Everybody, leave your watches, iPads, computers, everything you have on the hand. Liberate your hand, liberate your legs. Are you comfortable? Yes? You know how many hours a day you are checking emails or social media on average? 7 hours and a half. I'm going to steal 48 seconds of your life. Okay? There are many, many studies that have showed the world that if you give or receive 8 hugs a day, a hug a day, of at least 6 seconds each, this is 6 times 8 is 48 seconds, your brain segregates 3 times more oxytocin than normal. Oxytocin will give you more trust and generosity, 2 key elements for love. As we spoke in sports, experience cannot be told. You need to live it. If you don't live it, you don't feel it. If you don't feel it, you cannot understand it. So my second favor is leave your fear behind, okay? See the person on your right, see the person on your left, and start by 1 hug, and then go to the second hug, and then to the third, and then to the fourth, up to the 8th. And when you are on the 8th, finish, and I finish my conversation. Please, 1 has to give the first step, the first hug. Come on, no fear. Maestro. Grande. Qué grande, grande. 8-8. If you see people that are not receiving hugs, please approach those people. Everybody needs to receive at least 1 hug, okay? Okay, now we are talking. Now we are talking. That is fantastic. So the time is over, the hugging is over, everything is over except one thing: love remains. Remember, love and trust will change the world. Thank you so much. A big hug to all. Good morning. Thank you. Ciao.